Hello, everybody. Hope you're well. Um, Today, I have a story, a bit of history for you, which is sad, unfortunately. It has to do with the persecution of Baha'is in Iran, which has been happening since its inception. This particular story has to do with my family and happened around the turn of the century. Um, I asked my grandfather, who was in his 90s at that time, to tell the story of what happened. And his memory was amazing for events and for poetry. So he gives a pretty detailed description of what happened. He says, in the summer of 1321 or 1900 AD, Sheikh Ali enticed the inhabitants of Ardekan, that's the village that he was from, asked them to gather together to kill all the Baha'is of Ardekan. To defend themselves, my grandfather and his brother, a few of their relatives, and the militia gathered together in the garden belonging to Sadr Sultan, my great uncle. This garden was situated about 6 kilometers outside Ardekan. Of my 8 relatives who were there, 2 were mujtahid, which is the highest level of clergy, basically in Islam, and 2 were influential people in the community. They had a strong setup in the garden, and the employees carried guns. One 10,000 people from Ardekan and nearby villages came and surrounded the garden. The throngs of people did this while playing the drums and other instruments, and this was reminiscent of the events in Karbala. That's when Imam Hussein, the third Imam of Islam, was killed. Those gathered in the garden could have mounted an attack on the people approaching them, but they knew that many people would die as a result and didn't want to do that, let that happen. Mr. Sad didn't give them permission to do so. The clerics knew that the Baha'is would not attack them, so they devised a devious plan. They communicated to Mr. Sad that if they lay down their arms and gathered in the garden of one of the clerics, they would discuss things in person and avert a terrible battle. Mr. Sad agreed and asked everyone to lay down their arms and enter the other garden to discuss the matter. When they arrived in the garden defenseless, the clerics incited the mob to kill every one of them. The mob proceeded to do that, and the Baha'is were killed in a most tragic way. After the martyrdom of my ancestors and other Baha'is who were there that day, the enemies of the faith raided and confiscated their belongings, leaving their children without means and hungry. The remaining family members had to resort to manual labor to earn a small salary, and life was very difficult. At that time, I was a nursing infant, and my mother, seeing and collecting the hacked body of his father and uncle, didn't have enough food to feed her family. Didn't stop producing milk. Her whole body was in pain, and she didn't have enough food to feed her family. But under the grace of God, I grew up. Yes, so there is the more detailed account of this event are also in history books, but I thought this was special because my grandfather told it to me. He actually wrote it out, and I translated it into English. So, of course, I think of him. He's passed away for many years, and I think of him often. I hope you have a good day.